Hello everybody, and just here, and welcome back to Magia Record Season 2, Episode 1. Season 2 out of 3. Kinda sorta. But I believe they are also more like cores than actual seasons. I know. Whatever. What I do know, though, is that I believe with this season the game's storyline kind of gets sidelined, and we are getting the original story from now on. Right? Correct me if I'm wrong, of course. But yeah, that seems to be the case. Right. Do I even talk about the previous episode? About the finale of the first season? I should, but I don't know what to talk about because I have no fucking clue what happened. Well, Mami snapped, which, as you guys rightfully told me in the comments, it's not unheard of. We have to remember how she snapped in Madoka Magica, the main series. So of course it would make sense that she would get a little bit mad, a little bit crazy, a little bit insane in this show as well. We got who was it? What's her face? Fuck, not Kyoko. The blue one. I'm sorry. We got her Sayaka. We got Sayaka to appear. Sayaka had a little bit of a fight, a little bit of scuffle with Mami. What else happened? Iroha teamed up with Yachiyo. They worked through some of their differences and stuff like that. Iroha, of course, promised Yachiyo that, oh no, I'm not gonna be like the other friends of yours. I'm not going to die. And then she promptly died. Supposedly. She probably didn't. Let's be honest here. But we are led to believe, we are supposed to believe that she is dead. Mami got a exalted form, goddess form, deity form, I don't know what to call it. Apparently that's Mami Altar, that was the Christmas unit in the game. Christmas units are supposed to have deer antlers and bells around their neck and waist. This is a Christmas unit. How OP was she in the game? Please tell me, how OP was she in the game? Because I'm not gonna take she wasn't OP for an answer. Well, when you make a character that looks like this, that has attacks like this, you're not gonna tell me Kuroe was stronger. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So there was a fight. That fight took the majority of the episode, and it concluded with Sayaka saving Yachiyo from a cave-in. Meanwhile, Mami and Iroha fell in, and Kyuubey jumped in after Iroha. So she's probably alive, because otherwise, what would be the reason for Kyuubey to jump after her, right? Makes perfect sense. What else happened? Right, all the while, what's her face? Momoko? No, not Momoko. The Magus. Toka. All the while, Toka was watching it and smiling devilishly and talking about how, oh, it's a sacrifice to be made, but it's gonna be worth it in the end, etc., etc., etc. And it really seems like people, magical girls who follow the Magus, are mind controlled to some degree. It really seems that way. It really, really, truly seems that way to me. I wonder how much truth is there to that, but Mami and a couple of characters during the rally that Toka organized were also having those like blank stares, darkened eyes, very very mind control vibes from them all. So I wonder, I wonder. There was, of course, the rally of Toka, very much the imagery of Germany of the days of old. Let's just say, I don't want YouTube to take issue with this video, so I'm not gonna mention them by name. But yeah, very much this sort of an imagery. And apparently, as we hear from Alina Gray, their goal is to summon Walpurgisnacht? Or they're preparing for Walpurgisnacht? That's still not entirely clear, but Walpurgisnacht is somehow involved in it, so go figure. Of course Walpurgisnacht is gonna be involved. Why wouldn't it? Kuro is still nowhere to be seen. I see her on the list of characters, but I think this is just whoever made this list putting her here in spite of her, just to spite her, because she's above Toka and Nemu and Madoka and the Amane twins on the list of characters, above Mifuyu, and unless she gets a lot of screen time in this season, which I really don't think is gonna happen, but maybe she does. Maybe she's the key somehow. Maybe she's Ui reincarnated. I don't know. Why would they introduce a character and then just not utilize her? There has to be a reason, right? There has to be. Maybe she's one of the starter 3-star characters, so they felt like including her just for fan service's sake. Entirely possible, I guess. But yeah, now it seems like all of the magical girls we knew are under the influence of the Magus. They attended the rally. Felicia wanted to not run away, she wanted to walk out, but wasn't allowed to. So, something fucky-wucky is going on there. It really seems to me like in the end it will have to be Iroha, Yachiyo, and perhaps Sayaka having to team up against the Magus and perhaps having to free their friends from their clutches. And that's gonna culminate in all of the freed friends going against the Magus in the last final battle or something along those lines, probably. We'll see. We'll see. I honestly have no clue where it's gonna go. It can go in any sort of a direction, so why do I even bother? What do I expect from today's episode? I don't know. Probably a resolution to Iroha falling into the chasm. Maybe we're gonna see her being rescued or saving herself, or we're gonna accompany her, Kyuubey, and maybe Mami. Who knows? Maybe Mami was knocked out by the fall and she's gonna wake up all like, oh, what happened? And they're gonna have to team up to get out of the chasm. I don't know. I know, but that's the only thing I can think of. Or we could just not start with that. We could keep the suspense of whether Iroha is alive or not up for a little bit longer, and we might follow the adventures of our other friends as they live under Magus. I have no clue. We just have to watch this episode to figure it out, I guess. So how about we do just that, right? You're gonna need your subs, of course, to follow along with me. I'm gonna need my sound to hear what's going on in the show. And I'm also gonna have to ask you guys for your support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon or YouTube down below. You can get early access to the next episode on Patreon in particular, so that might be something you want. And with that, let's start watching this episode in 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, it's probably gonna have English audio. Yes, Japanese please. There we go. Patricia. And that is pre Madoka Homura. Wait, that's... We've seen a fight with this witch, didn't we? In Rebellion. Or did we? Or was it the original show? We've seen this fight. Wait, am I watching Magia Record? Magia Record, Quella Magi Madoka Magica side story. Yes. Oh. Yep. It is Magia Record. Oui. Oui. Don't get distracted, Homura. You're gonna get Madoka killed. Oh, you're here now? Not in Kamihama anymore? Is she taking them to Kamihama? Is it a flashback? Okay, she came back from Kamihama. So it's a different timeline than the main series, isn't it? Because Homura isn't her edgy self. Okay, I guess that's how it can be, how it can coexist with the main series. Well, at least she didn't kill anybody. She tried. By God, she tried, but she didn't. Okay, so they learn about it earlier. Gotcha. New opening? No. A recap thing. She gets a wish. Oh, right. She gets a curse in exchange for hope. Right. Okay, so it's mostly recapping. Where'd you lose Yachiyo, Sayaka? Does Homura know at this point? I simply omitted that information because you never asked. You never asked. Exactly. Yeah, just don't die. Casual. Skill issue. I mean, fair. That's also fair. Yep, to create entropy in the universe. or to lower the amount of entropy. Yeah, we're really just reiterating the discovery from the main show, aren't we? Yeah, she probably knows. Which timeline is it already, Homura? Yes, Sayaka, don't take Mami's role. Because she was opposing her. Right, and Kamihama has stronger witches. And how do you know that? Apparently it's not a secret when Walpurgisnacht is coming. Where Kyoko? I guess she didn't meet them yet in this timeline. She's just working solo for the Kyuubey to investigate Kamihama. Shaft neck. Yeah, it's pretty dark there, Madoka. Maybe you should go to Kamihama, actually. Oh, is that the finale of the main series? Yeah, probably. Madoka dying to Walpurgisnacht. Kamihama? And Ui's message, yeah, that's the difference. Okay, so we are tying those together. So essentially, it seems like Magia Record is placed in one of the previous timelines that Homura lived through. They removed her entire fucking desk. Okay, if you're absent from school, they just take your desk away. Yep, she's going to Kamihama. Is she joining Magius? Oh, hello, Patricia. Oh, right. I thought that maybe like Madoka grabbed her and they're going for a double henshin or something, but no. It's her other selves from other timelines, I guess. I still love her shield. Take out the gun. Yes. Why do you have ribbons, Homura? Why do you have Mami's ribbons? Or has Mami reappeared? And the chairs. I guess it's not just Madoka's place that's weird like that. Sayaka also has the ribbon. Why do you all have Mami's ribbons? Yeah, being together is better than being alone. Making the best of the current situation instead of succumbing to despair. More ribbons. Okay, we're getting some nice and proper henshins this episode. That's cool. Who's gonna save Sayaka? Oh. Okay. This is Kamihama. No. Right. If we are to go to Kamihama one day, we have to be at least strong enough to deal with Mitakihara witches first, right? Why does everybody have Mami ribbons? Is the symbol for Mami still living inside of their hearts, or what's going on? Sayaka ex machina? Sayaka ex machina. As expected. Not gonna leave her friends after all. shaft neck. I'm not gonna question the mummy ribbon anymore. Okay, that's hype. Fighting with a ribbon and a sword. Saving your ass. Stop time, yes. Huh? What was that imagery? Okay, yeah. We are all in it together. Heal Madoka now. There we go. We're all in this together. Oh, that's a nice music. Okay, so they did meet with Kyoko, but didn't team up with her. And Kyoko is in Kamihama right now, so... Combined attacks. Poor Homura. That's how you do it. Shoot Sayaka, why don't you? Okay. See? When you all fight together and combine your strengths, you can deal with Patricia or whatever the fuck her name is. Teamwork's made the dream work. Or however that goes. So we need to train. I just noticed. Madoka is a magical girl very early, isn't she? I forgot how long it took her to become a magical girl in the main series. Huh. I mean, we already know that it won't be the one, but... The fact that we know that this timeline will also be reversed... I'm not sure how much I like it. Is that the opening playing in a little window? Probably. Or scenes from season 1? I think scenes from season 1, yeah. Yep. That was a nice episode of Madoka Magica franchise. Not sure how good of a Magia Record episode it was, though. If that makes any sense. Kamihama City was just mentioned in dialogue. Oh? After credits scene, hello? And Yachi wants to save her friends. Is that Felicia? Okay. That's useful information. Well, that makes things complicated. Oh, it's the other one. Kuroe? Kuroe? Huh. She exists! Okay. Oui. Oh. Now that's Magia Record. Now that is pod racing. Okay. Okay. Let's watch it again, shall we? Yes, we shall. Of course we shall, as always. So this is a fight with Patricia. Homura gets the message from Ui, and we get the kind of a recap of the finale of the first season and kind of a big reveal about the nature of magical girls and the nature of witches. I'm skipping through it because it's nothing that we wouldn't have seen in the main series, right? It doesn't really have that much of an impact the second time around. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's basically a reiteration of the same thing. If Mami really is trying to save magical girls because... And of course Saka goes on of her own. And of course Homura sees it as a chance to save Madoka. Someone's calling, but I'm gonna call you back. Sorry. Getting cut off from society, Miss Kazuka Saotome gains enough charm to turn on the human race. Is she gonna be the final villain? By calling a woman Miss, you neglect to specify her marital status as you would with Miss or Mrs. But aggressive use of the title Miss to signify your unmarried status, etc., etc. This is wild that if you don't appear at school, they just take away your desk. Being a magical girl really isn't that great. Sure, we know those gripes, those issues of being magical girls and their characters, etc., etc. We all know that from the main series. And we of course know that Homura wants to save Madoka. Patricia, yeah. Are you gonna tell me to come? Yeah. We're in it together. I won't regret it as long as we stay together. We are magical girls, yeah, but sure, we can fall in despair and watch our soul gems grow darker and darker without actually fighting because we are depressed and we despair over our existence. Or we could actively fight those witches and we could get enough grief seeds to clear our soul gems and we could survive. That's the better alternative, right? So let's do that. Let's not do despairing. Let's grab each other's hands, let's join our forces, and let's go fight. Let's go survive. Let's make the best out of the situation we're already in. We can save each other. You save me, I save you, you save Homura, Homura saves me, I save you. We should help each other. And of course a threat of not coming back. Mami ex machina. What's the deal with Mami Ribbon? Sayaka having it, I can understand. Sayaka thought Mami maybe she cut off the ribbon to free herself and that ribbon just stayed with her. She just has it as a memento or whatever. Why does Homura have Mami ribbon? I don't know. She didn't fight Mami. I have no clue. But she does have it. Why does Madoka not have it though? That's a good question, isn't it? If everybody has it, why not Madoka? As a magical girl, I can't afford to waste time feeling sorry for myself. I have to fight with Mami Ribbon. And the yellow glow on her sword. Interesting how they seem to be incorporating like parts of Mami into themselves. The yellow glint on her sword, the Mami ribbon that she uses. Same goes for Homura. Yellow smoke, yellow attacks, right? They're not keeping to their own color scheme, so to speak. This entire fight scene is so incredibly hype. It's amazing. The art, especially. You can see the metallicness of this sword. And the shading just gets kicked up a notch, doesn't it? The lighting, the shading. Very often, I see that in Frieren, for example. When it's time to fight, the fidelity of the models just drops. Shading is less, if at all. Details just drop instead of individual strands of hair. It's just a colored blob of hair, right? You very often see that. This is the opposite. The artistic fidelity of the fight scene is higher than the artistic fidelity of static images of them talking, which is the complete opposite of what I would expect, and it's great. I mean, again, don't get me wrong that I know, not liking it or something, because I very much am liking it. Both the animation and the art are so incredibly high fidelity right now. Honestly, I might be not remembering some super hype fights from season 1 maybe, but so far this short little combat scene is probably the best one in this franchise so far. Like from a visual and animation standpoint. There were fights that were more impactful in like story terms, right? More important, rather, fights. But this one takes the cake visually and technically. It's great. It's great. I love it. The constant motion, the utilization of Mami Ribbon, just being a Sayaka being a sword-wielding Spider-Man. This is great. This is great. Okay, let's not spend that much time watching it. Because I could go through this whole fight frame by frame, but YouTube's just gonna strike my video, so let's not. We're all magical girls, we all should stick together and fight together. And we get another hype part of the same fight. Madoka jumping on Sayaka's back and just being a turret. Sayaka using Homura like a tool that allows them to move in stopped time. That's just a Megazord. Mahou Shoujo Megazord. Combiner model. This is great. This is fun. This is hype. I love it. All those shots freed in one moment. And then Madoka firing Sayaka like an arrow. Knocking the bow with her feet, like fully pulling it with her entire body, because Sayaka is a long arrow, so she has to utilize her body length for that. Amazing fight. Amazing. And very hopeful. I noticed this whole scene in Mitakihara City, the fight with Patricia is very hopeful, right? Sayaka didn't succumb to despair. Homura didn't succumb to despair. In fact, she has more hope because of Kamihama. Madoka now connected them all, and they managed to win with the witch they had so much trouble fighting. It's hype. It's positive. It's hopeful. We can do that. We can stick together and fight through the unfortunate realities of being a magical girl, and we can win with the witches, and we can go to Kamihama, and we can see what the fuck's going on there, and we can free Mami. We can do that. It's great. I love it. Whew. And then the after credits scene. Yachiyo looking for the Magus HQ so that she can probably both exact revenge and maybe try to free her friends. Felicia, who else was there? Felicia, Tsuruno, Sana, maybe even Iroha. Maybe even she has hope that Iroha is still there, somehow held in captivity or something. I don't know. She really became this, like, grizzled veteran. All that's missing is for her to wear a scarf around her neck. Legit. All that's missing is a tattered scarf around her neck, around her face, with two ends of that scarf billowing on the wind. All that's missing from her character right now. Ditch the veil, or whatever it's called, on the back of her head, get a scarf. It's great. I love it. I fully expected this random Magus to be Felicia, but I don't think it is. Or maybe. I know. Hard to tell. Could be Momoko. Or could be just a random Magus. This is Nemu. We haven't seen her. She still seems bedridden. She still has some IVs. She's still connected to some IVs. Is she a magical girl or is she not? That's a good question, isn't it? And Kuroe. Kuroe exists. Wow. Whoa, surprise. And of course she knows Iroha. My friend. Is she a friend? You've seen each other like twice and then you disappeared from the show. I don't like those colors in her eye. It's creepy. What's going on? I don't know. We'll see in the next episode, probably, which you will be able to watch on Patreon early week, up to a week early. It might be like take me a day or so, but close to a week early. That was a nice segue to my Patreon. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that was cool. That was a very cool beginning of the next season. I was thinking whether or not I should go through the characters and through the staff of this episode, this season, but I don't think they changed. I don't think they changed. The voice actors certainly not. The studio, just for the peace of mind, I'm gonna check if it's the same studio, but I think it is. I don't think anything changed as far as the whatchamacallit, as far as the studio goes. Studio Shaft, of course, yeah. That didn't change whatsoever. I don't think no, the characters are all the same. Staff, let's see the director maybe. Director and writer. Script, there we go. So the director is Yukihiro Miyamoto. He also directed the new Madoka movie, episode director for the Ruby anime, directed the third season of Magia Record, the first season of Magia Record, Trigatsu no Lion, some Monogatari shows. In general, he's a Shaft director. Madoka Magica, yeah, he's the director they have since time immemorial. And the script writers Katsuhiko Takayama, who also script writed serious composition for the next season of Magia Record, wasn't involved in the first season, it seems. Aldo no Aziro's second season script and serious composition. Kyokai no Rin, more Aldo no Aziro, Upote, Mirai Nikki, script and serious composition. Zetsubo Sensei, Boku no Pico, Pico to Chico, Pico ex Coco ex Chico, Pico Boku no Chisana Natsu Monogatari script. Okay, we have the scriptwriter of Boku no Pico trilogy working on it. Great. Script of Shuffle, Infinite. No, not Infinite Stratos. Stratos 4. And some other shows. Another script writer also wrote the script for a couple of episodes of the next. Chief director and serious composition for the next season. Alternate space design for the next movie. Monster material, whatever that is, for the opening of Maotsukai no Yome Season 2 Part 2. Chief director script for all episodes of the previous season of Magia Record, serious composition as well. Alternate space design for Madoka Magica, the movie, Bakemonogatari, Tengen Paguren Lagan, Nia Recollection Part, and Mahou Nishiba, also producer of the Ruby anime, script for this season of Magia Record, uninvolved in other seasons of Magia Record or in Madoka Magica as a whole, involved in Monogatari series as design manager. Okay, so I guess some of the stuff did change here and there. But the director remains the same. Studio remains the same. And of course, Seiyu also remain the same. That is to be expected. So as I said, great episode of the Madoka Magica franchise. Not sure how good of an episode of Magia Record. If not for the final scene, for the after credits scene, this would just be a Madoka Magica OVA rather than Magia Record. And I understand why, from the perspective of the game, that they want to include the fan favorite characters, right? Because there are probably also limited units in the game. And now that they are already involved, we can't just uninvolve them. They still have to be involved somehow. I like what happened in this episode. I like the interactions between Sayaka, Madoka, and Homura. I really, really did enjoy that. Amazing fight. But I guess it's kinda cheapened a little by the fact that we know it's not going to go to Homura's expectations, because Homura in this timeline, she's still wearing glasses. She's still the old timid Homura. So it's one of the early uh, timelines that she went through. So we know that in this timeline, Madoka is going to die, and Homura is going to rewind the timeline. So essentially, everything that's going on right now is inconsequential, right? It just loses any sort of a meaning because Homura will revert it anyway. So why bother? Why worry? Why wonder? And next time Homura rewinds the time, Kamihama might be completely different. Maybe we will not disappear, right? So it really kind of cheapens the experience. But at the same time, I don't know how else they could have handled it besides being an alternate reality, one of the previous earlier iterations of Homura's attempts at saving Madoka. They couldn't really place it like, I don't know, between episode 10 and 11 of the main show or anything like that, right? It wouldn't really be possible. They couldn't really place it post rebellion. They couldn't place it pre-rebellion either. They had to place it in one of the timelines that Homura went through. So it's, I guess, a double-edged sword like that. Then again, I think that simply not including the main cast of Madoka Magica or including them in a very limited capacity would kind of alleviate that, because if Sayaka and Mami just kind of occasionally appear, Deus Ex Machina save Iroha, and that's basically their role, you're not really thinking about where is it placed in relation to the mainline show. You just kind of take it in stride. But now we know what's the deal, where it's placed, and we know that all of it is gonna be for naught because the timeline's gonna be reverted anyway. And if it's not gonna be reverted, or rather, if the timeline continues to exist after Homura goes back in time, then the world will end because Madoka dies to Walpurgisnacht, everybody dies to Walpurgisnacht. Walpurgisnacht cannot be stopped, and it just rolls over the world and destroys everybody. Right? So, unless they have one out, they have one possible out. Madoka dies, Homura sees that Madoka dies, rewinds herself back in time to try again. The timeline continues, and in that timeline, despite Madoka being dead, Iroha and the gang defeat the Walpurgisnacht, and everybody survives, and the timeline exists, keeps existing, without Madoka and without Homura in it. Yeah, I guess that's one way it could go. In general, good episode, and the after credits scene kind of got me hyped for the Magia Record part. You know, Madoka Magica works. We know that. How about the Magia Record part now? How about the side story part? Curious that Kuroa appeared this late in the season, this late in the series. Really, she appeared, as I said, twice maybe in the main show and in the first season, and her appearance was kind of entirely inconsequential. She helped Iroha fight, and that was it. Iroha doesn't even mention her, she doesn't even talk to her. She just exists, and then she didn't exist, and now she exists again, and it turns out she's with the Magius. What the fuck's going on? I know. Why is Nemu so interested in Iroha? I don't know. I just hope they don't do the thing with double storytelling, parallel storytelling, where every episode is gonna be maybe interchangeably one episode about Madoka and the gang training to be strong enough to go to Kamihama, one episode about Yachiyo's revenge plot and the happenings in Kamihama, or something like that. I hope it converges sooner rather than later, and I hope we actually get to see more of the Magia Record characters. I've seen enough of Madoka, of Homura, of Sayaka. I mean, I say it, but I would like to see more of them. Absolutely, I'm very much waiting for the next movie, but in their own show. You know, what we're seeing right now is as if the next movie of Madoka Magica starred Iroha and Sana as the main characters, and Madoka, Homura, Sayaka, Mami, everybody was just sidelined. It really wouldn't be that great, would it? Yeah, I need to see more, for sure. But I like it. I really do like what I've seen so far. I just don't know how it works in relation to Magia Record being its own thing, being its own show, because it looks less and less like it is its own show to me, which can be handled in different ways. Hopefully it's handled well in this particular case. Yeah, hype fight. The early part, kind of skippable because it was just reiterating the things we already knew. I like the much more hopeful nature of this episode of, yeah, we can work together, we can win, we are strong together, right? That was cool. That was a really nice takeaway from all of it. I just hope the hope doesn't get dashed too soon. The after credits scene was very much needed, and I'm glad that they included it, because it lets me know that, hey, we didn't forget about the Magia Record characters. They are still there. We're gonna show more about them in the future. And here, look, is the fan favorite Kuroe, right? So that's cool, and it gives me hope that they will do it right, that they will do it correctly. And I think that's it. I don't think I have anything more to say on the topic, really. So how about you guys? Maybe you guys have something more to say. Say so in the comments down below. What did you think of this episode of my reaction, my theories? No spoilers. As always, spoilers can go to my Discord here, also in the description. It's linked. Like this video if you liked it. Subscribe to be notified of future videos of Magia Record, but also others like Shy, Helk, Shangri-La Frontier, and others. I also stream sometimes, so click the bell to be notified when I go live. Support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon down below, where for $10 a month you get early access to Magia Record, and for just $1 you get a role on the Discord and a place in the credits. You can also bypass Patreon and support me directly on YouTube. You don't get the benefits, but you can support me if you want via memberships, super thanks, stuff like that, or not. If you don't want to spend any money, you don't have to. Share my content, spread the word. It costs you absolutely nothing and helps the channel a lot. And now, with all of that out of the way, that's gonna be it from me for today. So as always, you guys do all the good stuff, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Cheers! And here's my wonderful Patreons: Kyuubey, Without Anetic, Survivor, Zayrainer, Akamaster, David, Dr. Ward, Marshka, Life Fussel, and Hans Peter. And you can join them without having to fight with Mami Ribbons.